The Man from Toronto is directed by Patrick Hughes and stars Kevin Hart, Woody Harrelson, and Ellen Barkin. A screw-up from New York is mistaken for the world's deadliest assassin as he must maintain this identity if he wants to survive this life of crime that he's accidentally fallen into. Do you remember how in my review for The Princess, I said that the only reason I watched that movie was because there was nothing to do that day. I was bored and channel surfing through multiple different streaming services, got on Hulu and saw that was new? Well, pretty much just replace the words Hulu and The Princess with Netflix and The Man from Toronto. That is how I discovered this movie. I had never heard of it beforehand. I saw none of the trailers. All I saw was that it had Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson in a comedic movie. So I watched it with no expectations whatsoever. And do you know how The Princess surprised me even though I hadn't heard a thing about it? Exact opposite with The Man from Toronto. This movie was awful, I thought. Okay, so good things. 1. The action isn't half bad from a choreography perspective. Woody Harrelson is still in like the top 10 kings of cool of the modern day. And 3, he does have the funniest moment at the very end of the film. And if you pay attention to after this moment, you know those funny moments are few and far between. That's it. 3 good things. The rest, trash. Alright, so the bad stuff, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Kevin Hart is not funny. One of my big predictions about Ryan Reynolds' career is that soon enough we're going to get tired of his usual shtick and no one's gonna laugh at his movies anymore. I give him like 2 more years until his shtick has died down. Kevin Hart's shtick has died down 2 years ago. Not only do I not find him funny anymore, not only do I think he's annoying, but his scenes just go on forever. I swear to God, most of this movie is just 5-minute long scenes of Kevin Hart basically stealing the show in the worst possible way, in the most obnoxious possible way, and in the most unfunny possible way. And I'm pretty sure most of the time, it's not even in the script. I'm pretty sure Kevin Hart is just ad-libbing most of this dialogue, which makes it even more painful how unfunny it is. Because if that's the case, you have no one to blame other than Kevin Hart. Plus, he and Woody Harrelson have absolutely no chemistry. Like, it's shocking how little they work together. Half of the time, it feels like Woody Harrelson is suffocating from how much scenery Kevin Hart is chewing. He just looks uncomfortable to be there, and when they actually have dialogue together, you don't get the feeling that these guys hate each other on camera, but they love each other off it. You get the feeling that these two legitimately hate each other off camera. And if that's not the case, and they actually do like each other off camera, that's even worse. And also, let's talk about this agency, this assassin agency, because at first I was sort of into it. It seemed like there was a special assassin from each part of the globe, maybe each country or maybe each region. And at first that is a really cool concept, until by the end of the film they just get too silly with it. By the end of the movie, these highly trained assassins end up using such over-the-top weaponry that you don't buy them as assassins anymore. They act more like henchmen for an evil Bond villain in a bad James Bond movie. What could have been some really cool world building on par with John Wick or The Kingsman just ended up being really stupid. Plus, the effects in this movie are hilariously bad. Like, especially the explosions and how fake they look. I've seen better effects done on the CW. Do you remember that one scene from Supergirl a long time ago that people just ripped to shreds because of how bad the effects looked? That was better effects than the ones in this movie. A movie that was expensive enough to get Woody Harrelson and Kevin Hart just had some of the cheapest effects I've seen in a while. Reviewing a comedy is always the most subjective of things because it always comes down to, did you find it funny? Did you not find it funny? And your audience will always have their own opinion on whether they found it funny or unfunny. And for me, I'm sorry, I just found this movie painfully unfunny. Every now and then you'll get something entertaining, like a decent action scene or a chuckle-worthy joke, but that's it. The rest of this movie is embarrassing. Most of the jokes are annoying and unfunny. Hart and Harrelson have zero chemistry with each other. This assassin agency is ridiculously stupid, and the effects are awful. When you have a movie with two actors that are legitimately great actors and legitimately funny actors, something like this makes you feel betrayed almost. I'm gonna give The Man from Toronto an F. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite buddy comedy? For me, I'm gonna have to go with The Nice Guys. Seriously, if you haven't seen The Nice Guys, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's basically just an hour and a half of pure laughter. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best, and don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below to stay up to date on all things movie, all things TV, all things nerd.